Hi everyone, and welcome to this Rivalry tutorial. I'm going to show you how to do this cartoon style. So first I'm going to open up an Illustrator. These are my pattern blocks. Each of these is the basis for a pattern in one of the cards in the title sequence. I obviously did not use all of these. So I'm going to show you how to create these patterns with using these illustrated blocks, which can be nice, interesting shapes and patterns into After Effects. So first I am going to import my After Effects file, or my Illustrator file. So here you see it says patterns, cool. And here now we're gonna pre-comp it and turn off the background so we can see the outlines. Okay, perfect. Now we're gonna right click here and go to create shapes out of vector layer, which is right there. Alright, this can take a sec to trace everything. And you want everything traced just in case you want to use any of the other elements. So, yeah. I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna find the group of the stars, because I think the stars are cute, so we're gonna use those. Alright, I'm gonna speed this up so you don't have to deal with this, it's boring. So now we're just going to control copy, create a new shape layer, and paste those in. So I'm going to now put these, I'm going to put these up in the corner right here. So we have our first block. Now you can scale this up or down or whatever you want. And I also like to move the center point right into the middle, the anchor point, just in case, keep things neat. So, yeah, there we go. You can see that a little better. So first we're going to add a repeater. So this first repeater is just going to get our first row going. So, oh, no, that's not what I need. That's not what I want. So go into transform repeater. And over here, you're going to make the X expression a little wider so we get something even. Let's turn the offset back to 0. That was a mistake. Okay, and then let's increase the copies. So here we go, we've got a nice first row, and now we're going to add our second repeater. So go up here, repeater. Okay, and once more to transform. First, 0 out the X coordinate, because we only want to mess with the Y, and bump that up. As you can see, just making it rain stars over here. This would be a pretty effect by itself, actually, for a later date. So I'm just going to even this out in here. So it's not like running over the sides and we don't have any gaps. So to add some more nice hand-drawn effect, you can go to the trim paths first, and we want these guys to sort of draw themselves on. So keyframe at 100, drag that out, keyframe at 0 at the beginning, and let's see how that looks. Okay, it's pretty cute. Not bad. So I'm gonna select these, hit F9 on the keyboard to either use them, and go into the speed graph. Gonna mess with the speed graph a little here, and speed that up in the editing room. Okay. Well, that's good enough for now. So now we're going to add a wiggle paths. And wiggle paths, as I said, is going to be all up and through this tutorial. And you're really only going to be able to see it here on the part after the transformation, because the trim paths will kind of hide the wiggle paths from you a little bit. So here we go. Just close that guy up and make sure it's applied to all of them, and wiggle paths. Cool. Now this guy is great. So this just gives it that nice little sketchy feel without having to draw a million frames over and over again. And I really like that. I have a little bit of pain in my hand, so that's very helpful. So I'm gonna open the wiggle paths up. The biggest thing here to get the right effect is the wiggles per second. These down here I don't really tend to mess with except for the random seed to create a more organic and random look. So yeah, let's just crank that up a little. And then, you know, we've got some small details here, so we're gonna mess with the size of the distortion. Take it down a few. Not bad. Let's mess with the detail size as well. Yeah, that's close enough. Let's just get it. Not worrying about getting it just right, you know, just showing you how. The wiggles per second is really key. The higher up you turn it, the more wiggly everything will be. So I like a nice good 8 wiggles per second. Gives it this nice sort of this little buzz going that I really enjoy when you look at that. Oh yes. It's cute, it's poppy, you know, it's these little hand-drawn stars definitely make it a little more childish looking, which is what we're going for. Just like a cute sort of hand-drawn look. Alright, so now we are going to start with new solid. And I believe I'm going to make it pink, because I do enjoy pink. Yeah, I very much like the pink. Alright, put that down in drawer. And as you can see, just right off the bat, these colors look great together. There's a nice effect. But just for the sake of, you know, so you understand, we go into the contents, we select all the groups, we shift click all of them. This will affect your whole pattern, by the way. And we go up here and make sure our fill is turned off. Remember, select them all, shift click. Stroke, mess with the stroke color. Let's blue, see what that looks like. I'm not in love with that. It's a little light, can't really see it. So I think I will put it back to the black again. That looked fine. I like that. And we can always mess with, you know, the opacity and so forth. So now we're gonna work on the text. So let's pick a cute, I have a ton of cartoon fonts from making this sequence. I downloaded way too many fonts. Any project I do is an excuse to download way too many fonts. So this one's pretty cute. And let's get her in there. Alright, stars. Because that's what we drew. Alright, get that guy right in the middle. Let's align it. Make sure, yeah, just to be extra precise. Never hurts. We'll create our outlines again. You just again right click and shape layers from text. So we're gonna add our trim paths. Okay, keyframe at 100 there, and then drag it back to 0. Great, so let's see how that looks. Make it a little quick. Easy, easy. Mess with this graph. Let's make sure. There we go. A nice curve there so it'll spike and then slow. Just like with the shape of the graph. Okay. Oh god. See, that's not right, is it? That looks really weird and terrible. So we skipped a step, and let me show you what that is. So we'll go in here and we're going to select, again, shift click, all the outlines, all the groups. And see, the fill is turned on. We don't want fill, we just want stroke. Fill's a jerk. So you turn the fill off. Shift click all these layers and let's thicken up that stroke because we want it to really stand out from the pattern in the background. You know, we don't want them to be the same weight. We want to create, you know, we want to draw attention to, obviously, our main text. So there you have it, this first very basic part, which is all the animation, and basically this is all the simple animation that you're going to do. And again, I'm going to mess with the speed graph and fast forward through this part because I just want to, there we go, make the speed graph the way I want. So this weird little bubble shape, I really like for a nice playful look. That sort of plateauing speed and the gradual speed up and gradual the gradual speed up and gradual speed down. Looks really nice. And again, remember, we're not trying to make this look too slick. Let's put our wiggle paths on here, as we previously spoke about. Now I'm going to show you this. Oh, yuck. Yuck. Look how it's all spiky. Doesn't it look terrible? Yeah, show you up close. Gross, right? Gross. Hate it. So, how do you fix this? Let's go into our wiggle paths and I will show you. So, first let's bring the size down. Just right. See that? And let's bring the detail down as well. And over here with this, change it to smooth instead of corner, especially with these like rounded, cloudy shapes. See, with these bubble shapes, we want it to be round. For more geometric shapes, you know, use the corner one. I mean, you can, it doesn't matter. Let's turn the random seed up and see how that looks. So that's pretty subtle, and with the animation on top of it, you can't really see too much. So I'm gonna move the workspace a little over here so we get a little more of that when it's just sitting still. Da-da-da-da, fast forwarding. Okay, so let's turn up our wiggles per second because obviously that was a little bit weak. Okay, fast forward once more. There we go. Some nice wiggliness, some more organicness. Let's even turn up the size actually because it's a big guy. I can stand a little size on there. Yes. Much better. Alright. So now that we're done with that, let's close these guys up. And I am going to bring in a paper texture. Okay. So I'm going to drag and drop this texture onto here and just hit, it's pretty small, just hit Control-Alt-F on your keyboard or right-click Transform and Fit to Comp. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to go in here and set this guy to multiply. So we have this nice paper texture, and I like to turn it down a little bit, 50%. There we go. And that'll give it some nice texture. Yeah, there you can see it. Maybe turn this up a little bit because we want that nice like rough paper texture. It's like a construction paper, and that's, you know, what we're going for. And then we're gonna right click here. So now we're gonna make a new solid. Doesn't matter what color, so I'm gonna pick white. This is for a ramp. We're gonna throw a ramp on there, or gradient. Yeah, bam, throw this ramp on there. And that's fine. Let's increase the scatter a little. Yeah, let's rev the scatter up. No, that's not what we want to do. We want to keep it dark though. And again, we're gonna set this guy to multiply. Hit T for opacity. Take her down. Alright, so this gives it like a more stylized feel, like it's in an actual environment and on a piece of paper. I'm gonna quickly rename everything so we don't have any confusion from this point forward. So there's our ramp layer, paper, the stars, and this is our, I'm gonna rename this to pattern. I am going to shift click all three of these, go up to layer styles, and choose bevel and emboss. Bam! So this gives it like a little bit more of a 3D look. Almost like, let me show you how that looks. A little quick fast forward. While we RAM preview. See, it's getting a little heavy. It's getting a little heavy, so for the next part of the tutorial we're actually going to. So what I'm going to do is create a new solid. This is just for our displacement map. So I'm going to throw turbulent noise on here. Turn the brightness up just a tick. The randomness, and then we're going to keyframe the evolution, or the complexity rather, sorry. So we're going to keyframe the evolution. Just have it go around the circle a couple times. You know, just 2 keyframes. You don't need much for this guy. So I'm gonna rename this guy to, we're gonna pre-compose this guy really quick because that is actually essential. Please pre-compose your map right away and rename this guy to map. So now we want a new adjustment layer to put our displacement map on. Here we go, drag and drop. I'm going to rename this guy to displacement. Pick our map as the displacer. Actually, I skipped an important step. Before you do that, scale up the comp size in your map. Make sure that it's beyond the bounds of your 1920 by 1080 composition. So again, we're going to add our adjustment layers, throw the map on there, the displacement map. Choose map. Map player, crank that guy up to 15, hit wrap pixels around, and then this guy, we're going to take the opacity down to about 20 and set it to screen. Just give it a little more depth and, you know, detail. And you can see these edges here are really less than ideal. The way I deal with them is just by hitting Control D on the movie file, scaling that guy up, not very much, and then popping him back underneath. And you can see we lose those edges there. And we have this nice sort of swimmy, wiggly effect going, making everything move a little more, giving it that little extra bit of oomph. So yeah, that was the tutorial today. I hope you learned something, and I hope you'll like and subscribe for more After Effects tips, tutorials, and resources. So just stick with me and keep doing your motion graphics, peeps. You're getting great.